where information shapes our
Namaskar,
reality.
here's a special update. We're taking you live to MEA press briefing.
And for that, I have the pleasure to introduce you, sitting on dais with me, Shri Vinay Quatra, Foreign Secretary of India, Shri Puneet Agrawal, Joint Secretary for Indian Ocean Region, Ministry of External Affairs, and Ms. Navika Gupta, Deputy Press Secretary to the Honorable President. With this brief introduction, now I would like to request the Foreign Secretary to brief on the visit. Sir.
Thank you very much, Rajesh. Good afternoon to the friends from the media for this special briefing on the ongoing visit of Honorable Rashtrapati Ji to Mauritius. As you all know that Honorable Rashtrapati Ji is on a state visit to Mauritius at the invitation of the Honorable Prime Minister of Mauritius, and she participated as the chief guest of the National Day celebrations of Mauritius, which were held yesterday. Just to recall and refresh that this is the first outgoing VVIP visit from India to Mauritius since March 2018. You would recall that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi had visited Mauritius in this visit of the Honorable Rashtrapati Ji is of special significance because it comes in the context of the first full-fledged celebrations of the Mauritian National Day after a gap of 5 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic. This is also the 6th such state visit by an Indian dignitary as the chief guest of the Mauritian National Day since 2000. Honorable, you would recall that Honorable Prime Minister of India had participated in the National Day celebrations of Mauritius when he had visited here in March 2015, and it was during that visit that Honorable Prime Minister had announced India's and his vision of Sagar, which is the security and growth for all in the region. Essentially a vision which guides our engagements with partners in the Indian Ocean region, countries, including Mauritius. You would be all aware that 12th of March, the date marking both the Independence Day and Republic Day of Mauritius, was consciously chosen by the Mauritian leaders to pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, since it was on this day that Gandhiji began his famous Dandi March. This fact alone testifies to the close, special and historical bonds that exist between India and Mauritius. If I could briefly share with you some of the important programming elements of the ongoing visit of Honorable Rashtrapati Ji. On arrival on 11th of March, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji was accorded a ceremonial welcome and was received with full state honours by Honorable Prime Minister of Mauritius. Rashtrapati Ji then held a meeting with the President of Mauritius, His Excellency Prithviraj Singh Rupan, and discussed ways to further advance our exceptional and close relations between our two countries. Later in the day, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji had a tete-a-tete with Prime Minister Praveen Jagannath, and a banquet was also hosted in honor of Honorable Rashtrapati Ji by Prime Minister Jagannath and Mrs. Kobita Jagannath. During this banquet, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji also interacted with other key political leaders of Mauritius as well as eminent members of the Mauritian society and Friends of India who were present there. During her interactions both with the President of Mauritius and the Prime Minister of Mauritius, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji presented a RuPay card issued by the Indian banks, both one to the Honorable President of Mauritius and the other to the Prime Minister of Mauritius. On 12th of March, Rashtrapati Ji was conferred the degree of Doctor of Civil Law, honoris causa, by the University of Mauritius. This conferment was then followed by a metro ride to Mahatma Gandhi Station, which is among India's flagship development partnership projects in Mauritius. She thereafter addressed a civic reception at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, attended by members of the Indian diaspora and representative of Mauritian socio-cultural organizations that were present at the Institute. On 12th March itself, at the National Day celebrations at Champ de Mars, Honorable President witnessed the flag-raising ceremony, a parade by the Mauritian forces and an Indian contingent, as well as cultural performances by the Mauritian artist. Prime Minister of Mauritius earlier today, met with Honorable Rashtrapati Ji, during which both sides expressed satisfaction over the progress made in the relationship, assessed progress in our partnership across various domains, reaffirmed their commitment to further deepen the bilateral ties across all sectors, as well as between peoples of our two countries, which remain the special foundation of our relationship. In terms of substantive outcomes during the visit and some of the announcements that you would have also heard, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji announced Government of India's support to supply 200 electric buses to Mauritius and redevelopment of the Ganga Talao area, which was warmly welcomed by Mauritian Prime Minister. Honorable Rashtrapati Ji is currently visiting Ganga Talao heritage area even as we speak. Honorable President also announced Government of India's decision that the special dispensation under which Mauritian nationals of Indian origin were eligible for Overseas Citizens of India cards, OCI cards, up to the 6th generation, will now be extended to 7th generation Mauritians of Indian origin. Honorable Rashtrapati Ji and Mauritius Prime Minister today also laid the foundation stone of the Forensic Science Laboratory project, which is being built with India's development assistance. They also virtually inaugurated 14 small development projects which are funded through Indian grant assistance. Several important MOUs were exchanged in the presence of Honorable President and the Prime Minister of Mauritius. These MOUs capture various segments of our bilateral cooperation across different domains such as public administration, avoidance of double taxation, financial services, and good governance. Without going into the details, if I could just share broadly the thematic areas of cooperation in these MOU. So the MOU, which is between the Union Public Service Commission of India and the Public Service Commission of Mauritius, talks of partnership in the field of sharing of experiences and the areas of recruitment, and also develop institutionalized linkages between the two public service commissions. To signing of the protocol to amend the India-Mauritius double tax avoidance agreement to make compliant with base erosion and profit sharing minimum standards. You would recall that BEPS project, as it was called, base erosion and profit sharing, was approved by one of the G20 meetings, and this protocol essentially makes amendments to the India-Mauritius protocol on the double tax avoidance to make it compliant with the base origin and profit sharing minimum standards. Third, the MOU between the Gift City and Financial Services Commission of India. Essentially, this MOU will build on the foundations which were laid when the Gift City and the Financial Services Commission had signed an MOU in July 2017, and will facilitate our cooperation in the financial services sector, including banking, insurance, capital markets, and fintech. Third is the cooperation agreement MOU between the Central Bureau of Investigation, CBI of India, and Independent Commission Against Corruption, ICAC of Mauritius. During her ongoing visit, Honorable President also received several other dignitaries from Mauritius, including the leader of opposition and leaders of other political parties. She also visited historical sites, one of them earlier today, Apravasi Ghat, as part of her ongoing visit. Just now, we have come from a lunch which was hosted in honor of Honorable Rashtrapati Ji by the Honorable President of Mauritius. And as I said, the Honorable President is currently visiting the sacred Ganga Talao for prayers there before she departs for India. To recapture a sense of strength and substance in India-Mauritius ties, our relations with Mauritius are special and historically unique, dating back to pre-independence years. Centuries-old people-to-people ties and continued cultural interactions forms a very strong basis and foundation of this very special relationship. Mauritius is one of the very important components and segments of our priorities under India's Neighbourhood First policy, India's Prime Minister Modi's vision of Sagar, as also India's priority focus on Africa. So Mauritius, in a sense, lies at the convergence of these three major policy pillars that Government of India follows. There is also very regular, frequent and intense higher level political engagement between the leaders of the countries. Our Prime Minister Modi ji and Prime Minister Praveen Jugannath have interacted 5 times just in last 6 months. And a key manifestation of the privileged and special relationship that India has with Mauritius was captured in Mauritius' participation as one of the guest countries under India's G20 presidency. This really underscores the special relationship that India and Mauritius enjoy. The visit of Honorable President to Mauritius reflects the growing expanse of long-standing and trusted partnership between India and Mauritius. The visit reinforces the continuing positive momentum and trends in our special relationship, and it also signals our shared and strong commitment to further intensify our relations with this important partner. I will stop here, and if there are any questions, we'll take them. Thank you.
सर नमस्कार सर, मैं गिरीश निशाना डीडी न्यूज़ से। सर, अभी हाल ही में मॉरिशस के अंदर यूपीआई और रुपे कार्ड सेवाओं के महत्व के बारे में क्या आप जानकारी दे सकते हैं, और क्या ये भारत और मॉरिशस के बीच में जो है वित्तीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ाने में किस तरह से मदद करेगा?
Maybe a few more.
Yeah, take all.
Yeah, a few more. Yeah, if you can take microphone.
सर रिसेंटली इंडिया और मॉरिशस के प्रधानमंत्री ने इनॉग्रेट किया था, एक सेकंड सर, रिसेंटली अभी इंडिया और मॉरिशस के प्रधानमंत्री ने जॉइंटली इनॉग्रेट किया था फैसिलिटी एट एग लगा मॉरिशस। तो सर उसमें बता सकते हैं आप कि वो प्रोजेक्ट में किस तरीके से प्रोजेक्ट को आगे बढ़ाया जा रहा है, क्या कुछ उसमें क्रिएट किया जा रहा है?
मे बी वन मोर एंड या
Sir, this is Bhupen Singh from All India Radio News, sir. Sir, my question is, India has been actively involved in supporting various developmental projects in Mauritius. Could you shed light on the impact and success stories of these projects, particularly in areas such as infrastructure, healthcare, and education? Thank you, sir.
Infrastructure, healthcare, and okay. Thank you. I think I'll take the last question first, because I think in many ways your question captures the larger and overall sense of the complete spectrum, at least the major parts of the spectrum of India-Mauritius partnership. If you look at the frame of the key points of the frame of reference of India-Mauritius partnership, you will find that it is anchored first and foremost in the Mauritian priorities. So, India's development cooperation template that we follow with any country, in particular the countries of the global south, and especially the countries which are key priority areas under our neighborhood first, under the vision of Prime Minister Modi of Sagar. Our development partnership first and foremost is anchored on the priorities of the receiving countries. So whatever are the priorities of government of Mauritius defines is the driving feature of our cooperation projects. It is in line and alignment with this particular policy that if you analyze any of the projects that are ongoing in Mauritius, including the two specific projects which were mentioned in the two previous questions, one relating to financial connectivity and other related to the larger connectivity issue. They're all centered in that particular template. And these projects comply with that frame of reference to be based on the priorities of government of Mauritius. So if you look at, for example, Metro Express project in Mauritius, and if you have gone around the city, you would see that the Metro Express project is a very shining example of how infrastructure cooperation in urban areas, which is based on development partnership template, can actually be a strong driver of a city's planned urban growth. It is one of the flagship development projects that India has with Mauritius. As is obvious, it has provided very reliable, environment-friendly and highly urbanized transport system, which has, I'm told, become widely popular across among the local population here in the city. Under our special economic package, you talked about infrastructure. We have implemented around 950 plus social housing units, educational projects like e-tablets for school children, new Supreme Court building, which was constructed and got ready in record time, is a classic example of infrastructure cooperation in the judicial domain. So it combines two spaces through this project. State-of-the-art ENT hospital. You talked of the healthcare. Mauritius is the first country with which India has signed. India has agreed to build health cooperation under the Prime Minister Modi's Jan Aushadhi scheme. Essentially, it provides for quality medicines, generic medicines, at affordable prices for the masses. That's the concept and the specifics. We hope that we are confident that this would take off in a major way, and will serve as a useful template of partnership with other countries also in the field of delivery of health governance, so to speak. Projects which spread across wider section of the communities. Government of India is implementing 96 small community development projects across Mauritius. And you would have seen that earlier today, Honorable President inaugurated 14 of them in a ceremony with the Mauritian Prime Minister. And these projects again touch lives of common people in various areas. We are also currently constructing a new civil services college to train the public service officers of Mauritius. We are also assisting GoMin. This is in the implementation of 4 health projects. These include 1 renal transplant unit, 1 mediclinic, and 2 health area centers. I can go on and on about various aspects of our partnership, but this broadly captures, more recent achievements of our successful development partnership between our 2 countries, and also the future pipeline in terms of what we would be looking at. But again, as I just to repeat that the principal driving impulse of our partnership with Mauritius converges through neighborhood first, Sagar vision, and is based on the Mauritian priorities. देखिए, आपका जो प्रश्न था आगा लेगा को लेके, आगा लेगा का प्रोजेक्ट भी जिसके जो 3 मुख्य भाग हैं, एक तो एयर स्ट्रिप का कंस्ट्रक्शन, जेटी का कंस्ट्रक्शन और वहाँ पर कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स, ये सभी प्रोजेक्ट्स जो हैं अभी चंद दिन पहले भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री माननीय नरेंद्र मोदी जी और मॉरिशस के प्रधानमंत्री ने मिल के इन सभी प्रोजेक्ट्स का अनावरण किया था। और यदि आप ध्यान से देखें तो ये प्रोजेक्ट्स 3-4 मुख्य चीज़ों पे केंद्रित हैं। सबसे पहला कनेक्टिविटी, आपने पिछले प्रश्न में वित्तीय कनेक्टिविटी की बात की। ये एक भौतिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर कनेक्टिविटी है जो कि आगालेगा आइलैंड और मेनलैंड मॉरिशस के बीच में एक प्रकार से जो उनकी कनेक्टिविटी है उसको और सशक्त और सामर्थ्य प्रदान करेगा। इसके कारण जो भी किसी भी प्रकार का जो आगालेगा आइलैंड से इमरजेंसी इवैक्यूएशन होना है, चाहे वो स्वास्थ्य की आपदा हो या और किसी प्रकार की इमरजेंसी हो, उसमें एक महत्वपूर्ण सहूलियत प्रदान होती है जो कि पहले थी लेकिन थोड़ी कठिन थी। इसी प्रकार से इस कनेक्टिविटी के कारण ट्रैवल आगालेगा और मेनलैंड मॉरिशस के बीच में प्रदान होता है। जो वहाँ पर हमने कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट लॉन्च किए हैं वो आगालेगा आइलैंड निवासियों के विकास और उनकी डेवलपमेंट ज़रूरतों के आधार पे ही उनका इम्प्लीमेंटेशन और उनका कंसेप्चुलाइजेशन किया गया है। तीसरा, यदि आप देखेंगे तो जहाँ तक मैरीटाइम सिक्योरिटी, मैरीटाइम सर्विलेंस का जो एक हमारी एक भारत और मॉरिशस की जो सांझी प्राथमिकता है आगालेगा प्रोजेक्ट, उसको भी आगे बढ़ाने में जो है काफ़ी महत्वपूर्ण साबित होगा। उसमें चाहे हाइड्रोग्राफी हो, चाहे ह्यूमैनिटेरियन असिस्टेंस हो, चाहे मैरीटाइम क्षेत्र में ड्रग ट्रैफिकिंग का बात हो, ह्यूमन ट्रैफिकिंग की बात हो, ये सभी जो हमारे एक प्रकार से सांझी चुनौतियां हैं मैरीटाइम क्षेत्र को लेके, आगालेगा में जो भी भौतिक कनेक्टिविटी के प्रोजेक्ट और जो कम्युनिटी डेवलपमेंट के प्रोजेक्ट भारत ने किए हैं, वो ये इन्हीं प्राथमिकताओं के मद्देनज़र किए गए हैं और हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है कि इससे उस क्षेत्र के विकास में काफ़ी मदद मिलेगी। देखिए, जो आपने प्रश्न किया रुपे और यूनिफाइड पेमेंट सिस्टम लिंकेज के बीच में, इसके कारण जो आपने बिल्कुल सही कहा, मैं आपसे पूरी तरह सहमत हूँ कि ये वित्तीय कनेक्टिविटी का एक मुख्य आधार है। कनेक्टिविटी की परिभाषा आज के युग में केवल भौतिक कनेक्टिविटी तक सीमित नहीं है, अपितु डिजिटल कनेक्टिविटी हो, फाइनेंशियल इंटरऑपरेबिलिटी हो, वित्तीय कनेक्टिविटी जैसे आपने कहा, ये सब नई उभरती हुई डायमेंशंस हैं संबंधों की और कनेक्टिविटी की। उसमें यदि देखा जाए तो रुपे कार्ड और यूपीआई सिस्टम का एक दूसरे से, एक प्रकार से कहें फाइनेंशियल सिस्टम्स का एक दूसरे से बातचीत करने की जो एक सहूलियत उत्पन्न हुई है, वो इसका एक मुख्य आधार है, जिसके अंतर्गत जो भारतीय यात्रीगण जो मॉरिशस की यात्रा करते हैं, मॉरिशस के नागरिक जो भारत की यात्रा करते हैं, वो दोनों यूपीआई और इंस्टेंट पेमेंट सिस्टम्स जो मॉरिशस के हैं उनको प्रयोग करते हुए इमीडिएट पेमेंट जो है कर पाएंगे। ये एक प्रकार से समझिए तो इसका पीपल टू पीपल संबंधों में दोनों देशों की जो वित्तीय संस्थाएं हैं उनके सहयोग में और टूरिज्म के विकास में, तीनों में जो है काफ़ी मदद प्रदान होती है। मॉरिशस ऑल्सो इसके साथ पहला अफ्रीकन देश होगा जिसने यूपीआई पेमेंट सिस्टम का जो है अडॉप्शन किया था। रुपे कार्ड का जहाँ तक प्रश्न है, रुपे कार्ड अब चाहे ऑटोमेटिक टेलर मशीन्स हों, एटीएम मशीन्स हों, पीओएस पॉइंट ऑफ सेल्स मशीन्स हों, उस पर प्रयोग किए जा सकते हैं। अगेन इसका भी फिर यही फ़ायदा है कि एक प्रकार से ईज़ ऑफ ट्रैवल, ईज़ ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन, फाइनेंशियल कम्युनिकेशन और ईज़ ऑफ टूरिज़्म बढ़ाने में काफ़ी मदद मिलती है। और इसको भी देखेंगे तो मॉरिशस शायद पहला ऐसा नॉन एशियन देश होगा जिसने रुपे कार्ड जो है अडॉप्ट किया। और जैसे कि मैंने कहा, माननीय राष्ट्रपति जी ने स्वयं से मॉरिशस के राष्ट्रपति को और मॉरिशस के प्रधानमंत्री को ये भारतीय रुपे कार्ड प्रदान किया। और जिस तरह से ये ओवरऑल जिस तरह से वित्तीय कनेक्टिविटी में और बढ़ाव आएगा और गहराई आएगी और उसकी जो इंटेंसिटी एक्सचेंजेस की बढ़ेगी, तो पेमेंट सिस्टम्स ज़्यादा सीमलेस होंगे, टूरिज़्म को प्रत्यक्ष रूप से काफ़ी समर्थन प्रदान होगा और पीपल टू पीपल कनेक्टिविटी और इसके चलते जो एक्सचेंजेस हैं दोनों देशों के बीच में वो बढ़ेंगे। तो यदि देखें तो न्यू इकॉनमी के जो ये नए मापदंड हैं उसमें भी भारत मॉरिशस का सहयोग जो है काफ़ी ही सुदृढ़, काफ़ी ही सशक्त और सामर्थ्यवान रूप से आगे बढ़ रहा है।
Thank you, sir. As we running short of time, sir, with your permission, I would like to conclude this media briefing. Thank you, sir, and thank you everyone for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
You were watching the live press briefing by India's MEA. President Droupadi Murmu is on a state visit to Mauritius. She attended the National Day celebrations of Mauritius. During her ongoing visit, the briefing said she held discussions with the top leadership. Sagar cooperation in the Indian Ocean region was taken forward. A number of development projects were also launched and taken forward. MOUs were inked in diverse areas, including partnership in Public Service Commission, financial services, double tax avoidance, among others. With that, we conclude this update. News and developments continue after a short break. Namaskar.